The movement must continue. See, we let it go to sleep. This movement's got to be woke up again.
Happy Friday, everyone. My name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville and the Plug Network Online. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. And today's guest is Kamal Wells with Men Against Gun Violence. And I invited him because he has done some amazing things in this community. And like I always say and do, you know, without being a leader, you have to have substance, right? And this gentleman has been putting in work. So, how are you today, Kamal?
I'm blessed. I can't complain.
Right, blessed and highly favored. That's right. That's right. So, for those who do not know who Kamal is, he is the founder of Men Against Gun Violence, right? Okay. And I know we had discussed before the show began on why he started this. But can you please share, you know, to everyone on why and who you are and the background, your background?
First of all, for my background, I'm a Louisville native. I'm from Louisville, Newburgh to the West End. Grew up. Fortunately, I'm a gangbanger.
Right.
You know,
right.
And had several strikes against me.
Right.
You know, and so I'm not a stranger to the street element,
right.
Okay? But it just got to a point where after serving 15 years in the United States Penitentiary, and coming home and seeing the condition that my city's in,
right?
The condition that the youth are in, I'm like, no, it's time for me to come back and do something to make a difference.
Right.
You know, people ask me all the time, well, Men Against Gun Violence, why that?
Right.
You know, and that's what we were talking about a little earlier. I started it in the wake of Tyree Smith getting killed on the bus stop and gunned down. And that hurt me for some reason. It hurt me more than everything, a lot of stuff I've been seeing during that time, you know. It just stood out for some reason. I'm like, no, you know, it's time for the men in the community, especially the black men, to step up and be the men that they're supposed to be, or they say that they are.
Right, and I agree. You know, the other day I was reading something where the Boys and Girls organization, we have over 300 and something black young men that need mentors. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is. And then we want to know why they're out there doing the things that they're doing. And see, one thing about, you know, listening to your testimony, you can relate.
Right.
You're relatable.
Right.
Right. So you can actually not only go out and you're putting in the work, but you can actually go to these youth and talk to them about, like, hey, I used to do the same things that you're doing. And hey, you know.
And it's like people say what needs to be done is we need to annihilate gang culture. Okay. And I'll be the first to tell anybody, because like some things you do, you sign up for life. Like, you know, and I'm a whole crip. I'm just gonna, it's out there, you know, I'm a whole crip, but it's not the gang culture. Okay. It's the gang violence that's going on, because see, the culture, if you go back to the roots of it, okay, because you can annihilate that. Go back to the roots of it. It's about protecting your neighborhood.
Okay.
Right. Protecting the elders, protecting the women, protecting the children in your neighborhood. Okay, so if you stick to basis of anything, you never go wrong.
Right.
Stick to the foundation of it, you never go wrong. What happened is, over the years, it's become over for this reason or that reason.
Right.
And now with the violence, you understand me? It's so many kids is just dying for no reason, and it's happening so fast that they don't even give themselves time to heal. You understand me? And so one of the things that I'm working on, I know I'm trying to get ahead of things right now, but when I got out of the penitentiary, I moved to Texas.
Right.
I got out in Texas and I started working in the oil field. First, I started working with a company called H&P Drilling, and that was the roughneck stuff. You know, that was the everything's wet and slippery and heavy, and the can and will kill you if you're not careful. You know.
Right.
And me and my other brother, and then we got to the safety side of things. Okay, we switched our careers, got certified, started doing safety work. Right, still in the oil field. And now that I'm back home, I'm obviously not in the oil field anymore.
Right.
But the thing is, I've been reaching out to former employers, companies that I know, and I'm trying to establish a program where I can teach these kids 16, 17 years old that's real active in the streets.
Right. Show them a better way.
Money's motivative. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of these kids, money's a motivator. So, yeah, you can get a job at GE. You can get a job over here at FedEx or UPS. But they're only going to give you so many hours.
Right.
You're only going to see so much money. I know for a fact, and that's my testimony, when you change tax brackets, a lot of things in your life changes.
Right. The quality of life, period.
So, and being, you know, if you work at GE, Ford, after your shift, guess what? A lot of these kids are going right back to the same neighborhood, the same environment. A situation happened with their friends or their family, they're ready to respond immediately. You understand me? Which keeps that cycle going.
Right.
If I can get these kids trained, get them in the oil field, from 1 to 1,200, 13, 1,400 miles away. Okay. They're gone a minimum of 21 days at a time. Okay. So when you're out here in the wilderness, in the desert, working, okay, 21 days at a time, if a situation here happens, regardless of how emotionally attached you are to the situation, that distance, that time gets you time to logically think about how you're going to deal with it, or what is it that you can really do without destroying what you are building for yourself.
Right, because it gets you away from that negativity and that environment, and those friends are just, you know, all in your ear and trying to talk you into the wrong things.
Exactly, because that was one of the things that I was fearful of when getting out of the penitentiary. I was like, if I go back to Louisville, it's a trap. Especially with my history, it's a trap.
Right.
You know, so I got to give myself a fighting chance.
Right.
So I made the decision to go to Texas, to get in the oil field, to work it and change my life, change my conditions, you know, and that's what I try to pass on to the youth.
So I'll tell you what, we're going to go on break, and we're going to talk about breaking that cycle and how we can prevent some of these things, working together as a community, and come back from your lunch break.
Yeah, come back.
Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in.
Yo, everybody, this is Rob Lee, and I'm inviting you to the Plug listening session on Saturday, March 26th. We're going to be listening to my debut album, Art of Flight, right here on the Plug Network. Stay plugged in.
I'm a city boy, kinda something like a pretty boy, but I like to get litty boy. I ain't soft like a pretty boy.
Want your brand or business featured on the plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Welcome back, Plug family. Again, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online, and today's guest is Kamal Wells, or Men Against Gun Violence. And while we were on break, we were talking about a couple of things. So I know before we went on break, you were talking about when you was like, oh, well, I should head back to Louisville or not. And, I hear that all the time. You were saying that this might be a trap, and I don't know. And the opportunities may be there. They may not be there if it's going to work for me. I hear that all the time.
It's I know for a fact, as me coming up, I'm 70s baby also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So once you get caught in that system, from JCYC to Louisville Metro to getting the adult corrections number,
Right.
actually finding employment is hard, because even though they say Second Chance Act and this and that, it works and it doesn't.
Right, especially with felons. I mean, it's really hard, and that's where a lot of felons, a lot of people that come out of the penitentiary, the prison system, they don't have anywhere to go. They're homeless. They're trying to get a job, and then how can you,
wages.
Right, and low wages, and how can you succeed when you have all these fines and you may have to go to court and pay probation officers and things like that. I mean, restitution.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole lot when the system actually it not only is
child
not
support.
Right, child support,
child support.
Right.
Yeah.
So you already have these targets, especially as a black male and a black, you have these targets, and just trying to make it work, trying to live and survive like everybody else and take care of their family.
Right. So that's why I said, let me give myself an opportunity. Let me give myself a fighting chance. Because I can, I talked to Demetrius with Boston's Not Bangers.
Mm-hmm.
And, one thing that me and him talk about a lot is that it's easy to get somebody to do something bad. It's easy to do something bad yourself. Okay. But it's hard to get people to do what's right. If I were to talk to a kid and say, hey, look, I'm going to give you this pack. Go move his pack and get some money. And, we're just going to work it out that way. They all for it.
Right.
But when you try to lead them in the right direction, it's a little more, they're a little more apprehensive.
Right.
They shouldn't be. You understand me? And so that's why my thing is, this oil field work is proven for me. They don't, oftentimes, I haven't seen a company yet that's concerned about what your criminal history background looks like.
Right.
Okay, as long as you can perform the task, as long as you can work safely, that's what they're concerned about. And they say work constitutes pay. They're gonna pay you the money that you deserve, right?
Right.
And it changes your life. And I feel like if it works for me, then it definitely can work for some of these kids.
Right.
Out here to feel hopeless.
Right. Especially that's what your organization is doing. It only takes one person, one mentor. Just like, I'm listening to you, the company that you are working for, that you went to, the corporation. So they open up the door, right? So they open up that pathway. And it's the same thing that you're doing.
Right.
All it takes is one person, to say, hey, look, it's right here.
Yeah.
The opportunity is right here in your hand. It's what you're going to do with it.
Right.
What you're going to do with it.
We don't hear about the oil field here in Kentucky. Okay, especially in Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
You hear about, like I said, GE, Ford, Package Unlimited. These are the jobs that we're offered in the black community, right?
We can keep going too, right. But we're not going to put any names out there.
But no, I'm just
right.
But the demonstration is this, like, it's common sense when it's common to you. Okay, so if you look for a job, these are the places that you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these type of careers here, you would think, based on what you see on TV, that you got to have all type of college degrees.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have this. You have to have all these. No, they don't. It's a real easy industry to tap into.
Wow.
It really is, and I'm, I'm a jack of all trade, master of none. But I didn't think that I would qualify,
right,
until I talked to some people, and some people enlightened me. So what that enlightenment means, hold on, if I have this knowledge, right, I have an obligation and a duty to pass that knowledge down. Okay, so if it's beneficial to me, then it can be beneficial to you.
right, right,
And if it's beneficial, something good, something wholesome, sure.
right.
Hey, young man, soak this game up this way, because I don't want to see you in the grave. I'm tired of seeing the balloon releases. I'm tired of seeing the memorials on every corner. I'm tired
Faces
of seeing,
on T-shirts. And
it's ridiculous, baby. Got killed today, a little baby.
Where was this at?
This
Here in
morning.
Louisville?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? It's too much going on. And like I said, they babies themselves. These kids is young, 15, 16, and they think they grown because of the stuff, the struggles that they deal with on a day-to-day basis, right? But they still don't understand the concept
the consequences.
How their actions,
right?
The consequences that come with their actions, right? So they're putting themselves in a trick bag and don't even know it,
Right.
And I remember when I first came home, a relative told me, he said, man, I'm scared of these young dudes out here. And I'm like, scared of how? He's like, no, because they killing and they snitching.
Yeah, they unpredictable. Okay. They robbing everybody. They robbing the milkman, the mailman, the grandma, everybody. So they don't care who you are.
He said that part. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
You win. You got that. I can feel that, right? I understand that 100%. But if you don't put yourself in those situations when you don't have to, right? So to get back on to what we as Men Against Gun Violence, what we do, it's not just Men Against Gun Violence, it's also 10 Good Men and X-Hate.
Yeah, I actually, I know I came to that event.
Yeah.
That was a really, really good event. Yes, the Chef Space. I was there. And the food was the bomb.
Yeah.
Man, so yes.
Shout out to Black Market for supporting that.
Yes, that food was the bomb. It was like, okay, I'm going to slap my grandma on here. Somebody put their foot in it. It was so good. But the event, it was, just the message, the meaning behind that, because it's so true. There's something, there's always a message, right? So whether it's music, whether someone in your ear, whether it's something going on in your life, your environment, there's always a message. That something is just how you going to react off that message, right? So how can people support what you're doing? How can they join your,
we always need volunteers.
Okay.
We always need volunteers. You can go to Facebook if you want to follow us. Go to your groups, Men Against Gun Violence, in your group section. Our logo is posted on there, so you know it's us.
Right.
If you want to volunteer and you're in locally.
Right. Or even if you got some youth that need to be shaken up a little bit. Right. We're going to come back and talk about that. We're going to break real quick.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in.
Yo, everybody, this is Rob Lee, and I'm inviting you to the Plug listening session on Saturday, March 26th. We're going to be listening to my debut album, Art of Flight, right here on the Plug Network. Stay plugged in.
I'm a city boy, kinda something like a pretty boy, but I like to get litty boy. I ain't soft like a pretty boy.
Want your brand or business featured on the plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Plug family. Okay, look, so today's guest, if you're just tuning in with us, is Kamal Wells with the Men Against Gun Violence. We've been chopping up, talking about a lot of things of what he's been through, what he's trying to do, what he is currently doing, and how he's saving souls out here, right? So it takes a village, like we always say. Yeah, it takes a village. It takes a unified, and the last time I seen Kamal and his organization was an event that they just had. So what are you guys working on now? Do you have anything coming up?
Oh, yeah, we're actually LeBron, that's my man. We've been working real diligently to get some things together for the summer,
right?
For the spring, get some outside events going where the kids can come and be part of.
Right.
Also in a safe space,
right?
Because
no more statistics. We don't
yeah,
want that.
yeah. That's one thing that I wanna stamp with my stamp. You understand me? That our events are going to be safe. So it's open, and they're open to the public. Kids of all ages are welcome to come. Parents, adults, and most definitely the men. Again, I can't stress this enough. We need men. We need the volunteers. We need the men to come and support, not us, okay, to support our children. Right. These kids that's trying to go to school and get an education. These kids that's trying to just be kids. Right. Their childhood's being ripped away from them. They're being, deprived of a childhood. So I'm asking that the men step up again, as always. Step up, join us, join forces with us, but help protect these kids. Be at these bus stops in the mornings, be at these events. Don't be afraid to go in different neighborhoods and knock on a door and tell the people, hey, we're Men Against Gun Violence. This is what we do. We're here to protect your babies, your nieces, your nephews, your little cousins. This is what we do. And also, I can't stress this point enough either, and I know we get short on time, but we are an anti-police organization, meaning the information that comes to us about a situation that you or your kids may be dealing with, we do not hand that information straight over to the police.
Right. Because a lot of people don't know they need the help, right? So they need the help. They just don't know where to go, who to trust, who the resources, because the system, the police is not working for them, right. This and that. So that's.
And I feel like the police had their opportunity, especially Lower Metro. They failed with us. They failed with Breonna Taylor. So I feel like you have all the resources and funding in the world, and you still fail to a whole half of a city.
Justice.
Okay.
Justice.
So it's time for us to do what we do, to be the men that we are, the providers and protectors of our household, our families, and our communities. Okay. And protect our babies.
Right.
You know?
That's an African village, right?
Right.
Kings, warriors, foot soldiers, all that above, right? And
hunters.
Right, and hunters. And the thing about it is, you're right, we need our men, right? It's just like going to church and you look around, it's like all women. it's all women in there. And I'm like, where's the men? And it's the same thing. And I heavily want to support what your organization is doing here at Unite Louisville, even my organization, Vision Life, the Stop the Violence movement, anything that we can do, anything we can support, any type of resources, outreach, collaborating, because it takes, all it takes is just one, the two, the three people to do God's work, because that's exactly what you're doing, is using your testimony, everything you've been through to help change lives of lost souls out there.
You know, when I was in the penitentiary, I was real short, but when I was in the penitentiary, I used to say, when I get out, I want to shut down a penitentiary. And in essence, you can't shut down a penitentiary, but
I know what you mean by that.
If I can reach, or the typical y'all hold about 1,300 people, 2,200 people. If I can reach 3,000 kids in my lifetime, from here on out, reach 3,000 kids and keep them from going inside the penitentiary, going to the grave like that, guess what? I'd have shut down the penitentiary.
Yeah. Because they're definitely making money off of us, and they're making money off of penitentiary. Off of each individual they lock up, they're making just bukus of money.
So real fast, Facebook group section, Men Against Gun Violence. We need donations. We need volunteers.
Right.
You know, anybody who does screen printing can help us out with getting more vests and sweaters and stuff made, T-shirts made for volunteers. That'll help out a lot, because right now everything is out of pocket, and gas prices are high.
Right, I'm telling you, and they are. And I tell you what, that's why I say you can walk around your neighborhood. They're not too far away. They may be living in your same neighborhood as well.
But
so
the thing is, with the gas, I mean, with the shortness of volunteers right now, that means the men that are apart, we have to hit as many bus stops as we can. So, you know, gas is not cheap, and they volunteer their time and their services to protect our kids. So, you know, it's just a compensation of, you know, the funds that they spend on getting gas and putting in their cars to do what we do to protect the community.
Right. And you know, like I always say is, you know, a lot of times like, oh, you know, why, you know, people say, because not everyone understands why we do what we do, right? And that's okay. But until it happens to you, and until it happens to a family member, then you're like, it's real. It's real. It done hit home. Now people want to, you know, they want to get involved, and that's okay. Don't wait until something happens to you. Do not wait until something happens to your son or your daughter or your neighbor, your coworker, your loved one, because we are out here. We are here doing the work. And you have organizations such as Kamal and Men Against Gun Violence to say, hey, we are here. It doesn't take nothing but a little bit of your time, you know, and that's it. They're not asking for anything. He's already said, like, hey, I'm giving back. So that's what we do. I always bring community heroes on the show, and I give them an opportunity to say, hey, I'm out here, give them a platform and connect with viewers, because there's people that's watching that maybe like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to call. I don't know who to trust. I get, you know, they get a lot of that. We get a lot of that all the time. So, and
he posted the hotline, my hotline.
Yeah. Tell them about the hotline.
Okay. So we do have a hotline, and the number is 502-410-3071. If you know any kids, or if you are a kid watching and you feel like you're involved in a situation that may become bigger than you and lead to gun violence, if you have a nephew or a cousin that's, you know, in a situation, call the hotline, and what we'll do, we'll come out and we'll talk to you and your parents, or we'll talk to just you, and we'll talk to the other party, and then we'll bring y'all together and try to squash the beef before it becomes something that can't nobody turn back the hands of time and change it.
Right. Exactly. Squash the beef, guys. Enjoy this beautiful weather God has given us. And until next time, I am you on Unite Louisville, and everyone have a good weekend. Thank you. Stay blessed. Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in.
Want your brand or business featured on the Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.